Welcome to the Chillverse podcast, our Chillverse. I am Chelsea, and with me is
Nelly.
Oh, sorry. This is the first one, so it's gonna be a fun time, and they're gonna keep coming. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We post. I don't know what we post there yet, but we post fun things, movies we're talking about, shows, things like that. It'll be out there.
Pretty much just everything, just like a day-to-day conversation that we'll hopefully be posting out like once a week. And so it's just something where, that you can kind of just come to, unwind, have a nice bottle of wine, or,
whatever you want.
whatever you want. Me personally, I'll probably listen to this in the bathtub and like after a long day of like secretly hating people and plotting their demise.
It's not a secret.
Not anymore, but
we all know, we see it.
They can't see it.
They're like, what a nice lady.
Little do they know. But yes, so we will be talking about the second Doctor Strange movie, so the Multiverse. And so spoiler alert, there will be a lot of spoilers.
Yes.
And
all the spoilers.
And this movie still is fairly new. We would strongly recommend watching it beforehand.
Right, we're saving you time, but also you should go watch it. And also, when I went and saw it, I watched this. Okay, first of all, I was going to watch this, and I did not, because, I don't know, life. And I messaged Nelly, and she's like, wait, I don't know if I asked you or if you just told me.
I think I told you.
You told me, and I was I haven't watched it yet. And then, so I watched it last night. I got off work, and I literally ran to the theater, and I got the last showing, and I wanted to see it in 3D so bad. And they didn't have any 3D available at that time, but, like, I had to watch it before today. So I think I'm going to go back and rewatch it in 3D, because I haven't seen a 3D movie since Spy Kids.
The same. But what's nice is that if you do not watch it in 3D, the movie, you can kind of tell where they were going to do those 3D effects, because, like, if you've seen a 3D movie, then your body's, like, kind of, like, already prepared, like, oh, that's going to pop out at me, and, like, all that stuff. And, like, there are some times where I was, like, going back in my chair a little bit, like, oh, you're not going to get me.
You're like, that stove was going to hit me in the face.
Yeah, it's like, not today. And so it's very well done, too. And so, of course, Marvel and Disney have once again absolutely crushed it. And one thing that I also appreciate with this movie is with Benedict Cumberbatch, I really feel like he was able to expand on his acting. Like, yes, he was Doctor Strange, but he was
in
different.
The multiverse.
Yeah, like, he could be so many different Doctor Stranges.
Right.
That he could be Strangers. Doctor Strangers to Doctor Strange.
Danger.
And he was able to, I really feel like he appreciated being able to do some of those additional, once again, though, they entirely missed to have if they had a British Captain America, they could have had a British Doctor Strange. That way you could just be like, oh, I can talk with my normal accent.
Right.
And also say penguins.
Say penguins.
You haven't seen that clip?
No.
Oh, well, if you get chance. Okay, it's on the Graham Norton show, and Benedict was going to do a documentary about these penguins. Well, he pronounces penguins 3 different ways, and he tries, like, penguins. It's, like, his first one. And, like, so he can't just say penguins.
Yeah.
And he accents them in every other way except for penguins. And so if you get done and you want a good laugh, I highly recommend. And, of course, Graham Norton. That's always a great show. It's a British show, and
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
It's just so laid back. Sitcoms. But anyway, back to the movie. So sorry about that.
This podcast is always off the rails, and if you're just you got to be here for it, honestly. Okay.
Yep. Just strap on in because it's a bumpy ride.
Right. And I even in my notes I have so many like things where I'm constantly diverting. So the Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. Literally, first of all, it's the longest title in the world, and I never know. I'm just like Doctor Strange 2. The Multiverse of Madness, like, I just call it whatever.
I think, like, Doctor Strange and Wanda probably would have been just as easily done. But I do think that they really wanted to, like, expand on... And essentially, this is a really big win for Disney because they could just literally crap out whatever they want now.
Oh, yeah.
And make, like, one little connection. We'll be like, oh boy, like another movie, okay.
Literally.
And so, I mean, they're really winning at this.
Especially with the multiverse, the whole time, I love Iron Man. I fucking love Iron Man. And obviously, with, like, Endgame, like, he had to go. Like, that was the best way to end it.
Yes.
But with the multiverse, all I kept thinking is there's so many more Iron Mans out there now. And there's, like, no one actually is dead at that point. There's so many of these characters out there. Like, is anyone truly dead?
Well, probably not. But I don't know if you heard of the rumor that, like, Tom Cruise is going to be the next Iron Man.
I hear so many rumors, but I don't like spoilers, like, before I watch things. So, well, this is fine. So, like, I don't go seeking out information because I hate for things to be ruined. Yes. So that's why.
Well, I really hope that it's not true.
You don't like Tom Cruise?
I do not like
Me neither. I'm like, that literally, like, part of the reason I love Tony Stark is because of, who's the guy that plays him?
Robert Downey Jr.
And I love him as an actor and then also as Tony, like, he just embodies the whole thing.
Yes, he
Tom
incorporates
Cruise,
it so well. Tom Cruise, it's just that, one, I think he's overhyped, one.
Yeah.
Two, I think he's just trying to, like, grasp onto anything to essentially,
stay
like,
relevant.
live forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can only have so many Top Guns, like, dude.
Right.
And, like, your Scientology will last forever. Like, calm down. You don't need to be jumping into...
Right, yeah. Go do your alien shit. Which, personally, I, believe in aliens, believe in the whole thing for the most part. Like, there's something else out there. But Scientology is a cult. Period.
And, I mean, I'm sorry, but yeah, like, the whole entire galaxy, it's way too big.
There's so much.
Just be us.
Right. Even if it's just animals. It's, like, not even saying there has to be things out there that are, like, smarter than us, which there definitely are, because we're fucking stupid. But it's, like, there are some sort of, like, cat or something. Obviously, not like how we have cats, but there's something else out there. Like, there has to be, even worms, even insects. Like, there's something...
Yeah, and I agree with that, too. I mean, like, our whole entire galaxy... And, I mean, it's so unexplored, which is understandable. It's so massive and everything.
And expensive.
Yes, and it's just, like, there has to be something else out there. Regardless of what it is, there needs to be something else out there. And I think, to a certain point, we should just stop looking. Because if you usually go looking for stuff, it's going to come find you. And then, like, what if it's just, like, oh, well, we don't like you, so you're all just dead.
Right, and we're going to count on, like, Elon Musk to save us, because he's, like, our Tony Stark or whatever, and I'm like, he doesn't have an Iron Man suit yet. We don't have the Avengers,
It's going to be Elon Musk and Lady Gaga that save us. Let's be honest.
And it's such a spectrum, like, no one can be mad.
No.
Everyone's happy in that scenario on one side or the other.
Well, because I think like, they both bring so much different things to the table. Where, like, I think that we could just confuse them just enough, but be sophisticated enough at the same time. We could probably buy us, like, another 100 years.
Oh, at least. Okay. I really want to talk about, so the director of this is Sam Raimi? Is that how you say it?
Sure.
Rami?
Sure.
Rami. We don't know how to speak.
Sam R.
And we just say things as we would pronounce them that we learned in our probably underfunded schools.
Well, and somebody also had a very strong speech impediment, so she was just trying her best.
And I'm dumb.
So together, we're just here.
Yeah, we almost make one person.
Almost.
But
70%.
Literally. But Sam Raimi, he's the same person that also directed The Evil Dead, which when you get into this movie, which is part of the reason I love it, if you know me on the internet, whatever, most of my stuff is usually horror related, and I fucking love horror, and this was like Marvel meets horror, which is like everything. And I'm going to jump right into this because like I just have to talk about it so I don't forget. Fucking Doctor Strange Zombie I was living. I was, like, literally so giddy and so happy it was not even funny.
The only thing I didn't like is that the CGI was a little bit fake. Like, you could tell, like, it was a mask or just straight up CGI. So I think that's really where they kind of fell short. But I also appreciated how, he was thinking about that beforehand.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, and I also didn't understand. So then, like, the souls were just, like, oh, you're sleepwalking, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why weren't you guys doing that to Wanda?
Well, I think it was because the body's dead, is what he said. He said, you're resurrecting the dead or something like that.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense then. But it was just like, what?
There were a lot of times, though, in this movie where, we're going to kind of go back to the beginning, but I just had to get that out because I was like, he directed Evil Dead, and then Bruce Campbell was in there, and I freaking just loved that whole scene.
Well, and then also the director also originally directed the original Spider-Man.
Yes.
And so I was just like, that is so cool how it kind of has come full circle. Because, like, the last, like, Spider-Man movie, Doctor Strange was in it as well. And then it was just kind of like, I think it was just kind of like first off, that's just like chef's kiss. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I really feel like I grew up with Tobey Maguire as my Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But Andrew Garfield brought something else to the table. Spider-Man 3 was a little bit of a killer for me, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But there's such a part of me now that's like hopes that like Tom Hardy and Tobey Maguire like do like I just want like these like mini movies now.
Yes. And that's what, and Disney has the platform. They're already putting out like series. Like, just give the fans what they want.
Yeah,
I don't know if the actors want to do it, but like, why wouldn't they? It's fun. Who doesn't want to be Spider-Man or whatever, any other like superhero?
Like just for like another like year. That's all we want.
Literally.
And like I'm still hoping for a Deadpool and Hugh Jackman Wolverine collab. It needs to happen.
That would be amazing. I would die for that.
Yes, and I'm sorry, but anybody else who tries to be Wolverine, it's just not going to cut it.
No.
No way, shape, how, form.
I agree. I agree. He is Wolverine. That would be great. They need to do that, though, before he gets, like, too much older. Yeah. Because, like, eventually he's just not going to be the same.
Listen, he could be, like, in, like, baggy clothes, have his cigar. I think they just have a conversation where they're just cursing each other out for, like, 15 minutes.
Right.
I would
being
pay
sarcastic.
Yes.
Assholes. I love it.
Yeah, and it's just, like, that's all we want.
Right.
We don't need gore. We don't need you guys doing a fight. We just want you guys chilling.
We just want the banter.
Yeah, exactly. And your superhero stews.
Yes.
And then if we have a preference, Logan, sorry, but you got to get into your yellow spandex.
Yes.
If you're going to lean into it, lean in all the way. That's all we're asking.
All the way or not at all.
Oh, and also another spoiler. Patrick Stewart was in this movie, which also is now another, like, door that is open.
Yes.
Is that X-Men are finally officially in the Marvel Universe.
I was so excited to see Professor Xavier. I know it's so stupid, but I just love him because I love X-Men so much. And when I saw the Illuminati, first of all, the Illuminati is just hilarious. And then when I saw the lineup, I was like, I just wanted to yell, yes, in the theater.
Okay, so I was cheering when I saw John Krasinski.
My theater was very quiet, so I was, like, afraid to even make a noise. Everyone was so quiet.
Oh, listen, so my husband and I, we watched Spider-Man, like, after it's been, like, out for, like, a week. Mm-hmm. So whenever, like, you know, like, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield came in, I was like, yeah, the only one. And, like, the theater was, like, fairly well packed. And, like, my husband's like, are you having a seizure? And I'm like, this is amazing.
Literally.
Like, and everybody else was like, and I was like,
yeah,
it's like our childhood, people.
Right.
And so it was just...
fake fans.
Yes, exactly. But it was so funny, too. So, like, whenever, like, the Illuminati, like, the council...
Yeah.
shows up, and there's this big fight scene with Wanda and the other Avengers, in their Doctor Strange gets captured, stuff like that. But it was really funny, because, so essentially, like, all these Avengers get killed. Long story short.
The way they get killed, though, real quick, I was not expecting to be that aggressive. When she shut his mouth, and he blew up his own head, and then she just, like, was killing them, and she had blood running down, and I was like, yes, Sam Raimi. I was like, yes, bring all the horror, I love it.
Yes, but it was also done, it could have been way more gory.
Yeah,
if he really wanted to. So
I think he was trying to make it still somewhat family-friendly, but also, like, this is my movie, bitch.
Yes, but what I also like about it is that, like, she killed them in, like, such a unique way, too. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, oh, gunshot, you're dead.
Right.
But, yeah, it was just very, like, holy crap. Mm-hmm. Another downer that I did not enjoy. So Agent Carter is Captain England. I guess. I did not like how she had Steve Rogers' catchphrase.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, I can do this all day. And I'm just like, no, ma'am. Like, you get to have sex with Steve Rogers, whatever, in our universe movie. But I was like, you can't do that. Like, you need to be like, do you want a biscuit, mate? Or something.
Should have offered him crumpets and tea.
Yeah, I could sit down, afternoon tea, and I was just like,
Oh my gosh.
like that was like my only time during that movie where I was like, oh.
You like cringe?
Yeah, I was like it was almost perfect, almost, and then you just open up your mouth, and I was like, now,
Right.
the Agent Carter TV series, that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That girl, like the actress, I mean, she kicks butt and everything, and she's fantastic. But that is my only criticism. Like, do not
Too far.
That is Chris Evans, and then I was also expecting Chris Evans just to show up as the Human Torch.
Yeah.
And just be like, then like she would like burn him to death. But I was just like, wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, just light him on fire, and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's like,
but like her
too
red
hot.
flames, so like it's too much. Like
Yes.
you can't. It's not his flames.
Yes.
I do love how it really showcased all of her powers, and I would say like one of the biggest criticisms I saw people make who are not that they're not Marvel fans, but they're not like super Marvel fans, whatever. Is so many people were like, if this is a Doctor Strange 2, we should be able to watch 1 and then 2 and understand what's happening. And I'm like, you gotta watch like 5 movies, 2 series. Like, you're going on from 1 movie. Like, no, this is the MCU, honey. Like, this is the whole thing. Like, I get what they're saying, but it's like, there's a story being told here, and there's a lot of points and parts to it. Like, there's not just jumping from Doctor Strange to Doctor Strange 2. You're going to be so lost. And also, so many people were like, this was Wanda's movie. And I would say, I do agree. I think they were trying to kind of, I feel like at first they were trying to keep it more like a secretive thing, that she wasn't like such a big villain, or, you know what I mean? So I think that was why it wasn't her movie.
Well, and I mean,
But she really did have like a huge arc in it.
Yeah, and like, no offense to her, but I mean, goodness sake, she had her own TV show.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm
Right.
sorry. But like, yes, I do agree that we needed another Doctor Strange movie anyway to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, and I mean, like you said, it does make sense, watch 1, 2, you should be able to understand what's going on, but that's not the case anymore.
Right.
And, and these movies, I mean, if you really think about it, Iron Man first came out in like what?
2007 or 6 or 8, like one of those years.
Yeah, so it's almost
early 2000s.
20 years.
Right.
And there's all these movies, and like okay, for an example for me, like, you really don't need to watch Captain Marvel. I think like that's an okay movie to miss.
Right, because it doesn't really connect that much.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
But then then if you see like Endgame, you're gonna be like, who is that?
Right.
So it's just like, but with Doctor Strange, it's just, there's so much possibilities for him to explore that you just can't have 2 movies with that. And I think that's what Disney realized, is like, okay, so we can keep them on the edge of their seats,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll throw out this movie. But if they don't watch it, then this isn't going to make sense. And another spoiler is that Doctor Strange flippin' remembered Spider-Man.
Oh, right.
So his spell,
Yeah.
he must have did it to everybody else except for him. And Wong remembered too.
Yeah. Did
So-
Wong remember? Like, he might have, but when he was talking about it, because he was saying Spider-Man, it wasn't like Wong making like a joke, and he was just like, oh, that sounds funny. Like, I didn't think he did remember him.
Well,
Maybe I'm wrong.
yeah, I mean, we always see it once, so like we.
Well, yeah, I watched it yesterday, but I have literally no memory.
So, but that's like one thing that like I automatically picked up on was like him like talking about like, oh, like we have a Spider-Man and stuff, and I was like, you're supposed to like wipe your memory of that.
Right, like, because then I've only seen Spider-Man once, which I did buy it the other day, but I had to get a Blu-ray player because, of course, nothing plays Blu-ray in my house, so I have to buy that too. But I swore that he was like, no one will remember you, like, not even me. And then now he's sitting here like, oh, my good pal Spider-Man. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. And maybe it wasn't Wong. Maybe it was someone else that he mentioned. Because there was at one point, which made me laugh, and this actually made my theater laugh. The only time they made any noise was when he was first approaching Wanda to help him save America. We're literally all over the place. If you haven't seen this, you're going to be like, I can't fucking listen to this. But
that's why you need alcohol and need to smile and nod. Yeah.
Yes. But when he first went to her and she was like, I can't believe you went to me. And he was like, well, my other choices are, he said, Archer with a mohawk and some kind of bug superheroes or something, or super bugs.
Yes.
I was like, I love that. It was so funny.
Yeah, and like what I also enjoy is that like during like the Age of Ultron, like Hawkeye was just like, I'm just a guy with arrows.
Literally.
Like I understand my limitations.
Which is why I also love Hawkeye. Like it's the same thing of like, I mean, he is a superhero to the point of, like, helping save the world, but he's like, I'm not a super person.
Right, exactly. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, we all wish we could, like, hit a bullseye and stuff like that. But the fact that he's able to, you know, help save the world with that, but he also is just like, listen, guys, like, at least, like, with the Hulk, he doesn't get too severely damaged. You know, he can take a big punch, he can take bullets, he can do this. Where, like, if it's just Hawkeye's dead with a couple of bullets.
Like, in this universe.
Yeah,
we do have the multiverse now.
And same with, like, you know, the Black Widow. Like, you know, any big explosion, anything really...
Right. Like,
she's just dead.
Right. Like, they might survive more than, like, you or me, but they aren't surviving as much as Thor or Iron Man, and the only reason Iron Man is when he has his, obviously, like, his stuff
suit.
On. Yeah, suit on. But, I don't know. I just love that.
Yes. So it was just, like, I think they're realizing, too, that, like, we don't necessarily want, like, the comic books. We don't really want that. We want it to be more everyday type of stuff. Like,
well, they want to make it more relatable.
Yes.
Which is another thing. Again, this is just jumping right to the end. But I also love that I feel like they've been making more, like... talking a little bit more about, like, mental health and stuff, which I love because I just have fucking issues. Which is why I love Iron Man 3. Everyone hates it. Not everyone. A lot of people hate on it, but, like, yes, give me a superhero that has literally panic attacks and, like, freaks out and his whole life is in disorder. I'm like, me. But I love that they were like...
$1 million.
Right, me, but I'm also poor and all these other things. I don't have all those, but that's okay. But I love when they were like literally they started out sometime in the beginning, whatever, like asking Stephen Strange, like, are you happy? And he's like, yeah, I'm happy. And throughout the whole, like, thing, he's realizing, like, he's not always happy and there are things he wants in life, but, like, at the end of the day, like, he's content with his life and can still, like, strive for more. I don't know. I just love that, like, that's what I, like, took away from, like, most of it. I was just like, I love that. And then him and Wong, I
didn't take away.
I loved it. And then him and Wong at the very end, he was like, I think he asked him if he was happy or something. And they had like this little like heart to heart. And Wong's like, I can't really remember anything. But basically he was saying like, he was like, I feel like I could be happier, but he was like, I'm very content with where I am. And I enjoy like the people around me and the people that I do have. Because with the multiverse, you can constantly see of like, what you don't have or where you could be, which could be worse or better. Right. And that's like Wanda. She's trying to get a better life. And it's like you can't do that. Like, unfortunately, like, you can't just go out and, like, grab yourself from a different universe and become them now. Like, that's not your life and never will be your life. And it's, like, to be happy with what you have or to work toward happiness. I don't know. I love that.
Well, I didn't catch up on that at all, so...
But that's why I love we're both here. I catch up on shit. You catch up on shit.
But yeah, so but I definitely do enjoy how also at the very end that is it Eternals? Eternals?
Yeah.
How that lady like pops out. Also, I think Dormammu is back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, gosh dang.
Isn't that her dad? Or no, that's her niece or that lady is related to him somewhere. I heard this in a YouTube video today.
And then, like his third eye opens, and then she has, like, a little dagger and stuff that, like, forms out of, like, the circles and stuff, like, Anna Jolie's.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine, And
I watched Eternals, so, like, I'm like, oh, they're probably going to meet in the ship.
Yes, and it's just, like, it was so, like, oh, okay, I know who that person
Yeah.
is. And it's like, oh, okay. And then they hop through, like, this Terran fabric, Terran reality,
Right,
whatever.
she's just like, and all these people around her just like, what the fuck? These people, they're just like me and you. They're just like, what the fuck is going on? And they're just going to like their normal jobs.
But I like how, like, they're, like, acknowledging it, though, too, because, like, they're all like, oh, like, we're just walking, whatever.
Right.
There's a giant rip in space and time. It's fine. And then, like everybody, like, stops. It's like, what is going on? And it's just like, that is the normal human reaction.
Right.
And then also, one of my big kudos to Disney, and I don't understand why this makes me so happy, but during the Hawkeye TV series, Hawkeye is going deaf.
Yes.
And I absolutely love that because it's just like, who else can withstand, explosions, falling through air, like, all this stuff. And I was just like, that's normal progression. Like, that makes sense.
Yes, like they're making the characters more realistic and more relatable. And also I did love that too. Like even the villain was like I think she was completely deaf.
Yes.
And I just love that there's so much more like awareness and stuff like in movies. And I know people are like, oh, so woke, whatever. That's not even what it is, but it's just cool. Like, 'cause if I was deaf and like there's no person, like I love Captain Marvel because like obviously there are women superheroes, but I just love her whole story. I'm like, yeah, someone who's been told they can't fucking do shit their whole life. And I'm like, me, bitch. Like, literally reminds me of, like, people I grew up with. Like, oh, you can't do this, you're a girl. Da-da-da-da. And I get that it was so on the nose, which so many people were like, we get it, girl power. But, like, for me, I'm like, I've seen that movie a million times. And also she's hot, so, like, that helps.
I do like her with longer hair, though.
Oh,
I think her little cut during Endgames, I was like,
yeah, I like her personally with longer hair. But, like, women in general that I'm more attracted to usually have, like, shorter. They're usually more, like, butch. I just love me.
So you like Karens?
No, not like that.
Okay.
Like Rhea Ripley, like...
I don't know who that is.
She's a wrestler. I don't even get into wrestling. She's just hot.
Okay.
She's like a big goth wrestler.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you some videos. They are PG-13, by the way.
Well, I mean, this movie was also PG-13. It probably could have gotten away with, like, a rated R.
Oh, for sure. Especially if, like, the kills would have been more aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
It was, yeah. I was, like, I was shocked. I watch horror, but I was shocked because it was Marvel. I was like, did that man's head just, like, implode?
Yeah. And then, like, what was worse is that, like, we had girls that were they were overreacting, but she was just like, I wasn't prepared for that. Like, it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I was just like, so this does definitely have more of a DC vibe. Mm-hmm. For sure.
When you said that, I was like, yeah, I'm getting those dark vibes.
Yeah, but it's still not as crappy as a DC movie.
Guys, you will never know this because it'll never be released because the sound is absolute shit.
I mean,
I fucked
who
up.
Knows?
I'll have you listen to it. It was terrible. We had two mics going on, and the webcam was recording by accident, so it sounded like shit. But we did an entire video on the Batman. And it was a really good video, but it just can't be posted. But I literally forgot. What did you just say? Why did I just say that? I have no memory.
Nelly is blanking as well.
Oh, DC sucks.
Yeah, DC.
We kind of went into that a little bit in that video that you'll never see.
Yeah, exactly.
We just prefer Marvel. So sorry about I like DC too. Like, there are good movies that I enjoy.
No.
But I don't rewatch things like I rewatch Marvel. Like, Marvel is my comfort. Like, I love horror stuff, but what if I'm not watching horror? I'm literally rewatching the Marvel movies or watching Twilight. Don't fucking judge me.
James Jacob every day. But,
Team Edward. We love vampires. Goths rock. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I want to be warm all my life. But no, so my only DC movie that I absolutely love is, of course, like, Heath Ledger and his Joker.
Iconic.
Yes, that is
the Joker, the Batman, and Harley Quinn are, like, the only thing keeping DC afloat for years.
And also the Lego Batman. Let's be real.
I still haven't watched it. I feel like I need to. I can't get over, like, I can watch a cartoon, but, like, the fact that it's cartoon Legos doing things, I don't know why. I can't wrap my head around it.
It's so great. I don't know why, because it's just like, they lean into it, and then he's like, I got soap in my eye, and it's like all these, like, little the cap thingies for Legos, and he's just like, oh, that's so cute. And it's just like, oh, I forgot my pants, and he's just like, clinks them on, and I'm just like, Great.
Okay, that is kind of cute.
Yeah,
I just haven't seen it.
it's really cute. And then he's just like, oh, all these cats, and then also the Craggle. Oh, that's right. Well, you haven't seen it.
I haven't.
But I was in the movie theater, and so there's this. He gets this special thing like glued to his back, so
Yeah.
he becomes the chosen one. And so there's this evil villain, and he's getting everybody with the Craggle. Well, it's crazy glue,
Mhm.
but some of the letters are missing, so it spells out Craggle. And then my mom ruined it. Like, we're all sitting there, and I'm just like, what does Chris Pratt have on his back? Oh, it's Emmett. Emmett is the character name.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what is that? And Mom's like, it's the cap for the crazy glue. And I was like,
You're like, oh.
yeah. And I was just like, that makes sense. But like, now keep in mind, I'm like 20 when I'm watching this, and I'm just like, what is the Craggle? I was just like I was a kid again.
I love
and of
that,
course,
though.
like Morgan Freeman is also in it as
Yeah.
well, and it's just like anything with Morgan Freeman.
Okay,
I mean,
it
you
has
could
such
read
a
the
good.
dictionary, and I'll just be
Yeah.
like, melting to my bathtub.
It sounds like a great cast, though.
It is.
I feel like I need to watch this, though.
Yes.
I said this
definitely.
last time, and I still haven't. But I do that a lot. I have a lot of movies on my watch list. And also, if I sound very nasally, allergies, guys. We live in Ohio. Allergies are a thing.
Or do we live in Ohio?
And they're killing me. Well, they know I live in Ohio.
Oh, yeah, touche.
Yeah.
I don't live in Ohio.
She lives somewhere else.
Yeah.
She flies here on a private jet.
Yeah.
Only. I
I'm
could be
secretly
that.
Nelly Furtado.
Oh my gosh. All right. Anyway, back to this. Literally the topic of the show.
Is that, oh, hey, is TikTok safe for kids? No. Thank you for
Literally.
coming to our TED Talk.
Yeah, for real. Like, get your kids dancing off there right now.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay. Can we talk about America Chavez?
We sure can.
I love this little girl. I don't know why. I think she's so fun. She's very annoying because she's a kid, but like, I feel like she's annoying. I feel like she's very needy. But I want to see I want to see a movie of just like her and her life. Like, I want her to go out with her newfound powers, which also like literally Doctor Strange is just like, you can do it. And then she's like, oh, I'm super strong now. And I'm like, bitch, there's so many times that happen. With Doctor Strange, it happened with the fucking demon things that are going around him.
Yes.
And she's like, just be strong. And he's like, oh, now I know what I'm doing. And it's like,
Yeah, and
what?
he's just like, just kick her ass. You'll be fine. I was just like, listen.
And then she just beats the shit out of the Scarlet Witch. I mean, obviously she didn't like completely defeat her like she showed her kids, which made me cry. I was crying. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I was
whenever
like,
she
oh,
was
no.
just like, fine, I'll just give you what you're asking for. And then I was just like, so we literally could have avoided all of this if you just had this little pep talk before.
Literally.
And then just been like, oh, here you go. Here's everything you ever wanted. And I'm also kind of curious, though. Where did Vision go?
That's what I was wondering too, because she has these kids. Why is Vision not in any of them?
Yes, because, like, at the end of, like, the TV series, there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
And so, like, where did they go?
And I thought the same thing. I thought that when she was dreaming of her kids, which I want to get into dreams too, but when she was dreaming of her kids, I thought that Vision was going to come in, or he was like in the bathroom or something because she was like in bed or whatever. Like, I thought he was going to come in. Never once. And I'm
No.
like, why? And also, you have all this power. Just create a vision of your own. I mean, I know that's kind of like sad and depressing, but like, you're doing all this other shit with your power. Just make a vision with
Well,
your power.
and then it's just
you
like-
guys can just live in your fucking cabin. Like,
Well, not only that, but it's just like, if you're already so powerful, like, why can't you just create your own kids in this
oh yeah, I was thinking the
universe?
same thing. I'm like, just have kids or adopt. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know after you like literally manipulate a whole town, but I mean, a lot of kids need adopted.
Yeah, exactly.
There's worse parents.
Or, like, I mean, she could literally do anything that she wanted.
Right, she can create any, like, you created the kids to begin with. Just
Yeah.
create the kids in your goddamn cabin.
Right.
But I think before it was because she like, it was like her subconscious and she didn't realize. So now that she knows, it's like, it doesn't fill her or make her happy because she knows they're not real. But it's like, but you're gonna kill a kid and do all these things. Like, are those kids even real? They're in a different universe. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's like one thing that it just gets confusing because it's just like, I want this for my reality. And it's like, well, you can't really have it now, can you? And also, I don't really think she's dead.
Oh, no, she's not dead. When that rebel crashed, I was like, that's not gonna kill her.
No.
She's not dead. She's just gonna come back and she'll probably be a good guy again. And then
Yeah.
she'll probably have to fight Doctor Strange, who'll be a bad guy now. Which I don't think the
Probably.
third eye makes him a bad guy, But I was wondering because the bad Doctor Strange had the third eye.
Right.
So it's like, does it just mean that he's like more powerful or more aware now? Or is he a little bit more corrupt? Like, I think they kind of left that open for
I think that he's gonna become slowly corrupt. I think it is gonna start eating away at him, and I think it's also kind of a spinoff to the What If series because
I've still not seen that, but go for it.
Oh well, I mean it's one of those things where like you really don't have to watch it.
Right, that's kind of why I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, I just don't really care. Like, I just like the people that play it now.
But he essentially traps himself in an own reality with essentially the demon side of him, and it's just him and this demon trapped in this forever thing. So it's pretty much just like Dormammu, except he doesn't have the time stone anymore.
Right.
And also, I really think, oh shoot, it was right there and it went away. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I hate that. That's the worst.
Man, that really sucks. Oh, if I come back to it,
Right.
I'll tell you all about it.
It's right there.
Oh, also.
Yes.
Came back.
Good.
I love how, also with the What If series, there's like these dragons and stuff that he was able to, like conjure out.
Mm-hmm.
How it came through in the movies. I was so glad like he was able to like express that too.
Oh, the dragon hand things?
Yes.
They were fighting her?
Yes. I was just like, that's
this.
so cool.
This week I'm going to watch it. I also need to watch Moon Knight. We're going to talk about Moon Knight too. This podcast isn't exclusively Marvel, but we love Marvel and we love talking about it, and that's part of the reason I asked Nelly to do this with me.
Moon Knight was kind of overrated in my opinion.
Oh, shit. All right, I got to watch it, and we'll talk about it again next week.
Okay, that sounds fantastic.
Okay, but can we talk about dreams? I literally, as soon as they were talking about how dreams are like your or like you in the multi-universe, whatever, I was like thinking about all my dreams. I was like,
my poor soul has died so many times.
Literally, I was like, my bitch ass is suicidal. I was like, times I fall off a building or whatever else.
I don't know. One night I had a dream that I could outswim sharks. Don't ask me how. And of course, like these are like prehistoric sharks too. So like these are mad son of guns.
Megalodons.
Yeah, and I'm just like.
You're just like
catching like Michael Phelps in it, and I'm just like, I'm just faster than you and everything. And then what got me is that I was just like, for some reason, I was like, how am I breathing underwater? So then apparently I just abruptly stopped, and then like my last known thing was like, I was getting engulfed by this shark.
You're like, shit.
Well, yeah, and then I was just like, so I'm still alive, because, if you get swallowed by something, you're still alive.
You could swim out.
Well, yeah. And it's like, and they have gills, so as long as they don't get bitten,
right?
And I mean, these are big sons of guns, and if I
sons of guns,
and as long as I know where their gills are and have enough strength to swim through the gills, I think I'm gonna be okay.
So then, when you woke up, you were looking up like shark anatomy. I do that shit when I wake up. If I like die a certain way, and I'm like, not next time. I can't even think of like something at the moment, but I've done that so many times where I'm like. Yeah, let me look up real quick, like, XYZ things so I don't die next time.
I don't know. It also, like, freaks me out, too, because, like, if you go down a rabbit hole, like, with dreams, then it becomes, like, I don't know, so surreal. And, of course, like, you always remember your weirdest dreams. Mm-hmm. It's never, like, the casual, like, I was at the grocery store.
Right.
No, it's just, like, oh, my gosh, I also have a reoccurring dream that I'm in a glass house, and there's marble floors, and I'm wearing, like, like, that flowy, like, I'm a rich girl.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
A multi-universe! Why could that be this one? Oh, wait, it is. Her private jet. Just kidding.
Yeah. And then there's this big old T-Rex outside.
I love that.
Yeah, but then, like, it wants to eat me, so it's destroying my house, but I'm still able to, like, run away.
Oh, your house is so big, though.
Yeah, but it's just made out of glass. I'm just like, oh, no. And I'm like...
So strange. Especially when you think of, like... glass house, like kind of like what is like a metaphor or something, like stones at a glass house. It's like
see, and that's why I don't look up dreams, because I'm just like, oh, that's what it meant. And then like one person's like, but if it's on a full moon in the middle of August, it means this. And I was like, I don't remember what day it was on.
If Mercury's in retrograde.
Yeah, and it's just like, and if you're a Virgo, and I'm just like, what's my sign again? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm an Aries. And I was just like, And I hate that too because like there's so many times where I'm just like I'll be bored and just be like, okay, I'll look up my horoscope, but I'm just like, that is so me. Like
I love
that's
that.
me. And then like next week I'm like, that's not me at all. Like what the crap happened? And I was just like, Nelly, like there's no scientific reason to this. Like calm down. You just need to be who you need to be. And at the same time I'm like
I feel that though, because I'm a Capricorn, and like I guess I do kind of come at things kind of like a business aspect, whatever. But like my entire like life just. But first of all, okay, for people that are into astrology and stuff, you're probably screaming right now. Your moon sign, your sun sign, your rising sign. I get you. I agree with you. When I went more into my signs, I actually like it made way more sense, and I'm way more artsy. But growing up, I just was like, I'm a Capricorn, and so like I always thought like I was so like math heavy and very like structural and whatever else, which actually was just the environment I was in. Not math, but like structural. And I'm actually very like creative and stuff, but I forever would like not. There's a cat here. I would for the longest time not like get into that because I'm like, oh, I'm a Capricorn. Like I don't like that kind of stuff, which is so stupid. But like I let this like roll my like life as like a kid, and I'm like that is so dumb. But yes, when me and Chris, we actually did both of our Chris and my husband, by the way, we did like our I don't know, like all of our signs, and I can't remember what exactly it's called, but the people know, you've done it, you've done your moon sign and your sun sign, and like the day and time you were born, and it literally was fucking us to a T. And I was like, literally, and mine was like you can be serious and you like to be introverted, but you're also fun and artistic and da da da, and I was like, me.
and Nelly has not done a single thing about
That's
that.
gonna be an episode. It's gonna be so fun.
All right, let's
love
get
that.
back to the movie.
All right, so okay.
Oh, also, there's a talking ox. That was
A talking
freaking
what?
cool. A talking ox?
Oh
Yeah! I was like, nothing can happen to this creature. And I was like, I know it's fake, but I was like, nothing can happen to this.
He was so sweet. I know, and then Wanda's over there torturing his ass.
Yeah, I was like, but
bitch.
he's alive.
Right, he did make
He
it.
feels pain. He's alive.
Yes. And then freaking Wong, he wasn't there like I feel like he was on the edge of that cliff for like the whole movie. Like he wasn't on there like maybe half the movie, but still, half of the movie this man was just like basically hanging or laying on the side of a cliff.
If he was not a main character, he would have been dead in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But I think like because like, and I don't know like.
Well, he's also the Sorcerer Supreme,
right? And so I
but...
don't know since like he didn't really dab in like the dark magic like the other one did. Mm. I don't know if there's like some like universal law that like the Sorcerer Supreme can't die.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to kill him because that one chick, the first one, well, the one we knew of from Doctor Strange 1, she was alive for like ever.
Yeah, but she also pulled dark magic.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's why that's kind of like put it into her demise. But like yeah, like I mean, let's be honest. If Doctor Strange did not bring Wong back, who would have took over the Sanctum during that 5-year break? That's the real question that we need answered. It'll just be like this, like some like the ability just opens up and like sucks in like the first person, like ta-da! Here's your hat and like boo! Here's everything that you're in charge of. Congratulations!
Right.
We don't have a book or anything. Good luck trying to read these. We don't have anybody to teach you.
You're in charge of all these people, all of this stuff.
Yep, and you have 5 minutes to figure it out. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a lot. I'm sure they would have one of their students. One of those students would have taken over, but God, I don't. Oh my God, Wanda was just. She was. I would say I love this movie. Like I love seeing all the stuff she can do. Like she is so powerful. I mean, she is the Scarlet Witch, but it's insane all the shit that like her powers could do. And
I was so glad. Like it was finally like a super villain that was killing superheroes. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like. I'm going to tell you my whole entire plan.
That's like, exactly what I was thinking you said that.
I know, it's just like she's just like, you're dead.
Literally.
I know, it's just like, and now, also, if she really wanted to, she could have killed that girl whenever.
Right, that's what I was saying. She was sitting on that slab for like ever. And I was like, what? And she's just in there fighting these peons. I'm like, literally why? Yeah. You could have wiped them out and killed them because she was like, which keeps saying she was being not nice, but she was being, what's the word? She was like, I'm being, whatever. I don't know.
Oh, like tolerable or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes,
But yeah,
yes.
reasonable.
Yes.
This is Wanda being reasonable. Because Doctor Strange was like, why didn't you just go and mind walk or whatever the fuck it is and go do whatever you need? And she was like, I'm being reasonable. And it's like, well, but
That
if you
doesn't
weren't being
quite answer
reasonable,
it.
you could have just, I mean, I get that would have skipped the whole movie and the premise of the movie, but like, you could have. And you were, why do all this? This seems like a lot.
But I also appreciate how she called Doctor Strange out, though, too, because, I mean, he essentially alternated time and reality, and then she called him out on it, and
She was like, you can do it, but I can't.
yeah, but it was to the point, though, where, like, you understand Doctor Strange a little bit more, because, I mean, he was saving our reality.
Right.
Versus, Wanda's just like I just want to see my kids.
Right. She kind of forced him in that. Well, not even kind of. She forced him into the situation. So, because I don't think he would have done that. Again, so nasally, sorry. But I don't think he would have done that without her, obviously.
Yeah, and I really think that, like, once again, where's Vision in all of this? I mean, I think he's
I can't get over that. I agree. I was like, how's he not in any other... Like, I just was saying how everyone's in every other universe. Because Steven died in one universe, but he wasn't dead in this universe. Or the other universe. It's like, but, like, how does that work? So Vision dies in one universe, now he's dead everywhere? I mean, I'm sure that it does happen when people get wiped out, but, like... Because Strange, Doctor Strange was like, Wanda, your kids are dead. They never existed, whatever. And Wanda was like, yes, I do. And she showed all these universes. There was like 30 of them. Yeah. And he wasn't any of them. And I was like, what the fuck happened to him?
Like, last time I checked, you kind of need, a wiggly worm to have kids.
Oh, I don't think he ever had a wiggly worm, but he was made from a robot and a gem.
Yeah. So it was just like...
Wanda literally was like, here, let me make you one for my own enjoyment. He's like, okay. That's fine.
Mean, you know how it goes.
But I know what you mean, though. It's like, where... I don't know where
it was. But I also didn't like how, like... I don't even think Vision was mentioned once in that whole entire movie, and it's just like...
The only time she mentioned it when Doctor Strange was talking to her or whatever, and she was like, I had to blow a hole through... She didn't even call it Vision. She said, like, through the person I loved. Yeah.
Yes.
And she was like, it meant nothing. And it's like, okay, bitch. I mean, what do you want? I mean, I do feel bad for Wanda. I love WandaVision, the show. I cry so hard for her. Love Wanda. I get it. I feel it. But it's like, you're just gonna, like, sacrifice people and ruin this entire universe for, like, 2 kids that you kind of knew for a week. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, and it's just like, and I really think, like, if S.H.I.E.L.D. wanted to, they could have been like, here's this vacant town. Mm-hmm. Go nuts.
Right, that's, again, a fucking cabin. Make your own, but I think, again, it was the fact that she didn't realize she was doing it. So it was like a comfort, like, I don't know, it was like she was like kind of in a coma almost.
Yeah, and then poor Patrick Stewart tried to help save her and from her own mind, and then her demon side killed him. That was heartbreaking. I was so sad. I'm like, nothing can happen to this man. Nothing.
I know.
And I was like,
yeah, it was pretty sad.
It was, but I'm glad, like, it wasn't like a gruesome death though either. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like...
Yeah, his was more playful.
More humane, I guess.
Yeah, more humane. So, I wanted to bring this up.
All right.
So, Loki. You watched Loki, I'm assuming. Oh, yeah, and I know you love Loki. We all love Loki. He's a hot mamma jamma. I don't know why I just said that. But I feel like, so with Loki, it happened, I don't know, before or after. It happened before this movie.
Yes.
And so, is because he messed with the guy that does time or whatever, is that why everyone all of a sudden is able to, like, jump around the multiverse because Loki's in charge of the shit and he doesn't give a fuck?
Well, I don't think they touched on that just yet because they're coming out with Loki season 2. Mm-hmm. And so as far as we know, it's just, as of right now in our universe, we only know the girl that can jump through the different multiverses.
Yeah.
Now with with Loki, since he's essentially creating all these different timelines, they almost have to sync up with some sort of multiverse. Yeah. And I think that's how they're going to try to fix it, maybe, is that, like, they go through they'll probably team up with this girl, jump through all these multiverses to try to like clear everything up. And doesn't that sound like such a hassle?
Yeah, it seems like a lot. I mean, I'll watch it 100%.
Oh,
It seems like a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
I kept thinking about that, and I'm like, I feel like, I mean, obviously they're just like, with Infinity, with, well, I guess even the Avengers, sorry, I'm really trying to get to something here, is when Earth really discovered that there's like gods and shit. I mean, obviously other people discovered that beforehand, but then you have like no one, they were traveling space, and they weren't really traveling like the time continuum until Endgame.
Right.
And then you had Loki, who like really kind of fucked shit up, and like, which Loki,
I mean, God of mischief. So he's living it up to a T.
Right. And so like, literally, when Loki got to that guy at the very end or toward the end, he's just like, "Oh, you can have it. Like, I don't want to do this." It's like, what? I was like, what is happening? And then all I kept thinking is like, well, if you left off that and he's in charge, just him and him, who's a girl, and they're in charge of the shit, and people are just willy nilly in and out, and I'm like, that makes sense.
Well, and I really think like there has to be still a fail safe somewhere. I mean, that guy's just like, oh, I saw you coming and like all this stuff, and I was just like, wouldn't you create like an off switch, like just in case? Like obviously you're still alive, so why would you just be like, I'm just gonna sit back and not do a darn thing?
Right.
Why would you let that happen?
That's exactly. I mean, he literally was just like, I don't care about this job anymore, and it's like, what?
It's just like, so either he knows of somebody that can fix the mess, or he's just like, the world's gonna die anyway, so I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the ride. But
it's time for him to retire.
Yeah, but then that also creates that with Eternals is like, you know, like how these like gods are born and stuff like that. So it's like, does he just know that like this whole galaxy and multiverses and stuff is gonna end anyway? So he's just like, not my fault, not my problem. I'll be in Mexico. Peace out.
Right.
Or maybe he wants to go to Russia. Who knows?
Right. He can go anywhere. I don't think I'd go to Russia right now, but that's just me.
No, but I'm just, polar opposites
right.
here.
Somewhere else.
Antarctica. He'll be with the penguins.
The penguins.
The penguins.
Full circle.
We like circles. Circles are safe.
Circles are safe. And I was going to say something. I can't remember. We were talking about that guy and retiring and going somewhere else. I don't know. It completely left my mind. I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, I hate that. I don't know. We'll get back to it at some point. But I did want to say, one of my favorite scenes from this movie was when Doctor Strange was versus Doctor Strange, but like the evil one. And they were like fighting with like the music notes. I was living for that scene. I thought it was so cool. And he like threw all the notes. And he like put them together on the lines, like threw it back. And it was like, dun dun. Like, that was so artistic and I loved it.
It was definitely a what the crap is going on type of moment.
Yes.
But looking back at it now, that was original as heck.
Right.
It was just like, who sat there and was just like, you know what would be a good idea? Sheet music. What's even a better idea? People can see it.
Right.
And
their weapons.
Yeah. I was just like, oh my gosh. And then like the little harp made like a little note and like saved the whole entire galaxy. And I was just like, what is going on?
I know. I thought it was just so, I loved it. And especially in theater too, because everything's so like loud and dun 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 dun. And it was just like, if you haven't seen this in theaters yet, it's still in theaters. It just went in theaters, so it'll be there for like a month or so.
At least.
Go watch it. And it's in 3D, and I think I'm going to rewatch it in 3D.
And one of the things is like, also with the theater is, trust me, I understand, you're in the comfort of your home and everything. Excuse me, but there is something about those silly people and their silly comments. Like, so there was one where they closed that gate, that water gate, and like they're all like standing there watching it, and like everybody in the theater was just like, move, like what are you doing?
Right.
And we're just like beside ourselves. So like you have like all these people like being there with you, and it was just like total strangers and everything. And so I was like, it was nice to have that back. But my favorite thing though, so in the whole entire scene where I forget his name, but essentially the Sorcerer Supreme in that universe. No, the one that has the dreads.
Oh, I forget his name too.
Yeah, but he has like the
yeah.
flyy boots. And he was just like, I'm just going to wait for my council to show back up and I'll be the deciding vote and blah, blah, blah. We had somebody dead, but in the background go, dude, nobody coming back. And like, we lost it. And then he's like, it's true. They're all dying. I was just like, dude, like, we're right there with you. But it was just so funny because he's like, you need to release me. I can help and blah, blah. And he's like, no. And it's like, 3 more people died. And it was just like, and then like, what I also thought was kind of funny, like, no offense again to Captain England. Yeah. It was just like, oh, like, I'm one of like the strongest men. I'm like, you're literally a human.
Right.
Like, a superhuman, sure. But like, yeah. And then like, I mean, her shield kind of killed her. And I was just like, oh, it's a little too on the nose there. But
right. That was wild. I did kind of, again, but I know it's a more Marvel movie. But I was like, oh, show her body cut in half.
I'm glad that they didn't. I think that really would have tipped it over.
Yeah.
I think like you had enough like with the gore on the shield that you're like,
you get it. Right.
Like, all right, and then like I really think that Captain Marvel, she probably could have taken down Thanos if she really wanted to. And I'm just like, and she can't last more than like 5 minutes with Wanda. And I was just like. And then, like, there's all these theories out, too, that's like, well, Wanda couldn't kill Thanos and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, Wanda killed Captain Marvel, so where are we at on this?
Right. I think, though, with Wanda, though, like, even though she was obviously more powerful in Endgame and Infinity War than she was, like, in Avengers, Ultron, Age of Ultron, whatever, I think after everything that happened in WandaVision, because she was in there, like, doing her little, like, crazy sit with her legs crossed, meditating shit.
Yeah.
And her little cabin, like, I feel like she just got so much more powerful, which is why she could kill that chick. But well, I get what you're saying though. Captain Marvel and the Scarlet Witch are both almost like just so powerful it's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like almost nothing you can even do. Like the only reason Wanda even stopped is because she literally stopped herself.
Yeah.
Like if she would have been like, yeah, fuck you guys, you can have this Wanda, or I'm just gonna kill her, and these are my kids, and then even if they're crying, she doesn't care. Like, no, yeah. She could have done whatever she wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And then she's just like, I'm gonna do the honorable thing and kill myself. And I'm just like, listen, a bunch of rocks falling on you.
Literally.
Like, it's just like with Jean Grey and like the X-Men. Like, her powers wouldn't allow her to die in that moment.
Yeah.
And it was just like, so odds are, or my whole like widespread theory is that she turns into the Reality Stone.
Oh, shit.
That's kind of my thought on it. Because her powers are red.
Yeah.
She's alternating with reality. And if she gets crushed, what if her powers are just like, okay, we're here. We'll go into the stone.
And there's stones.
Yeah. And I was just
it
like.
It literally is compressed by stone, which is how, like, diamonds and shit are made, I think.
Yeah, and I was just like, nah, the odds of that being true.
That's wild, though. Or
you
even
heard it here first.
Yeah. Or even if that, like, happens regardless. Like, maybe she loses her power. Like, she's alive and it saves her, but then her power gets compressed and it's a gem or something. She's, like, normal. I don't know.
Yeah, she's just like a normal human being that's, like, still, like, on a council or something. They're like, Wanda, what do you recommend that we do?
Right. All right, we have one last thing. So, final thoughts.
9.5 out of 10. I will gladly rewatch it, but I think the CGI could have been a little bit better.
You always are critiquing the CGI, which I'm not mad about. I just, like, I feel like I'm a child when it comes to talking about movies, because I'm like, I just loved it. It was so fun. Like, I love Doctor Strange was at the wedding and jumped out in front of everyone with this cool cape. Like, I'm literally like a 7-year-old reviewing movies. And you're like, awesome. The CGI and the characters, and they're related this way, and I love it.
Also, that brings up a very good point. His cape. I don't know if you caught it, but she repaired his red cape with the blue cape.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's going to be against the law somewhere.
Yes.
And I was like, is the cape going to become, like, 2 capes? Is the cape going to, like, cape birth?
I was
like,
wondering
what's
the same
going to
thing.
happen?
And also I was like, this cape, maybe I'm lying, but I feel like this cape, like, also, it's magical. Like, why wouldn't you just turn that red? I mean, can't it, like, I don't know. I feel like it could have done that.
Well, I think it's just because it's like it's from a different universe. Maybe it can't.
Oh, I guess.
But
because
I was just like,
it is itself. So
yeah, and so but it was just like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. And I was just like, how is this gonna like destroy something? Because it'll be like, you know, it's like Monsters Inc. Like, oh, like a sock came into our universe, we can't have it.
Right.
Like, are they gonna incinerate his cape? And I'm like, I hope not. Like, that cape has saved that man's life more than once.
Literally, that's his biggest power is just the cape.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, he can levitate.
Right.
But
Who
with
cares
his
about
cape,
other
it's so
powers?
much cooler.
Right.
He could get with murder with his cape, but as soon as his cape is gone, he's in jail.
And it saves some of the other people too. Like every time anyone falls, that cape catches them every single time.
Exactly. Where's the Capes movie? How did the cape get there? Why did it choose Doctor Strange? We'll never know.
That should at least be a short. Disney has to make a short about the cape. That'd be perfect.
At least a 30-minute short.
At least. That'd be great.
But not a TV series.
No, not a TV series. That's
No.
too much. Just a short.
That
like
is
literally.
too much. Yeah, just a nice 30-minute short of
like here it is. This is why it's so magical and powerful, and here it is choosing Doctor Strange and why.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Then now you're brought up to speed.
I love that.
You know, like so many these students that are wanting to go into Disney and just be like, you know what? Whoever creates the best movie makes the most sense. You get an A, and then we'll buy the rights, and then make millions of dollars off of it.
Yeah, they'd buy the rights off their own students.
You know, just
they'd steal that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what students are for.
Literally.
Anyway.
Here, come up with really good ideas. We're gonna force that on you, and we're just gonna take it.
Yeah.
Again, I love the movie. I love that it was Marvel meets horror. I love all the horror aspects. Even, the fact that Sam Raimi was the one that made Evil Dead, and then there's, this evil book, and it, just kind of goes all back to its roots of, Evil Dead. I love it.
Well, and I guess, because my sister was trying to explain it to me, I have not seen that series, but I kind of understand it, but I guess there's something, with his hand, in those movies, that it always is trying to attack him or something, or his hand disappears or something.
Yeah, at one point his hand gets. I've seen the first two. I haven't seen
I
the
think
last
it's in the
one,
third
and it is
one.
in the third one. I haven't seen that one because it's more silly. It's more of a silly, which I guess they are all kind of silly to be honest. But I don't really get into silly horror movies very much. I like a few of them, but I like just gory jump scare stuff usually.
And I don't.
So that's why we talk about Marvel here. Last thing. That's all we have. That's all I have. I think it's all you have about Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. But as I was in the theater, and I'm sure you also saw it, the new Thor's coming out.
Yes.
And I'm so excited. I like Thor, but I've never really been excited for Thor movies. I watched Thor movies and Captain America. I kind of just watched to keep up with the Marvel stuff. I don't know. I'm not a big Captain America fan, but that's okay. But literally Thor Love and Thunder, it looks so cool and fun, and I'm so excited to watch it.
The only thing that I'm mad at with Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman.
Is that the chick Thor? Is that female Thor?
How she and Gwyneth Paltrow, how they wiggled their way back in after they're just no, we don't want to be a part of these movies anymore. And then they're just oh, wow, this has turned into something really big and major.
Right, and now you want to be part of it.
Yeah, I am so sorry. No.
I've seen that around too. I honestly don't know much about the whole situation, to be honest.
Well, I
said to be honest a lot.
I just hope that it's just kind of this okay, we gave you a movie, now shut up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. Because I don't want...
You want people that deserve it or have been around or actually like and care about Marvel and not just in there for a cash grab.
Mark Ruffalo has also done all his
man.
voice acting as well. Same with Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Hiddleston.
Oh, can we talk about the fact that there's Benedict Cumberbatch and also Benedict Wong?
I think that's great.
What are the odds of both these men being called Benedict? I've never heard anyone name that except for these two people.
I think it's great.
And they work together in the same movie multiple times.
A coincidence? I think not.
No such thing as a coincidence.
Dun. But I noticed that too because it's so can you just go around say Benedict and it's no, not you, the tall one, or
right.
It's just because I don't know if you ever seen Benedict Cumberbatch he's always just just call me Benedict C or something. Don't even try to pronounce my last name. I get it. It's difficult. And he's just and then then there's Benedict Wong, and it's just oh my gosh. I just think that would be so hilarious. It's just two unique names and two very distinctively different people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Benedict, and you're just like, I'm Benedict.
Right.
And it's just like multiverses colliding.
Literally.
Stay tuned.
I didn't even realize Wong's name was Benedict until literally this movie because I don't ever watch credits. Half the time I barely refinish movies when I'm rewatching them, but I was like, wait, what? I was like, I need to write this down on my little notepad. I was like, what the hell?
I think that was partly intentional though too. They're like, this is another Benedict. Like, he has to be in the movie. He just has to be. We'll write you in. Like, it'll be fine. But yeah, that was great. That was great.
All right, yeah. So I'm excited for Thor. Ready to watch that. Once that comes out, we're gonna watch that. We'll talk about that as well. We're gonna talk about all the movies, all the TV shows. Let us know down in the comments if there's anything you guys want us to watch and review, talk about. This is not a horror podcast. We do a lot of Marvel, DC, comic book stuff, action movies.
Nelly can't handle gore.
Yeah, if you want horror, head over to my channel, Chelsea Wrath. We talk about all the horror movies and scary, spooky things.
And she's very great at it.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for listening. We will catch you next week. Have a fantastic, super chill weekend.
Yes.